Hey, Sharon here. I'm doing a quick little walkthrough of how to make these cute little envelopes. Actually, they're big envelopes that you can put inside of your journal, kind of as an addition to your journal. Maybe for if you're going on vacation, you want to keep all your thoughts and notes from your trip in one little space in your journal. You could use it for something like that. Anyway, let's get started. So I've just gone ahead and got a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. It's not super heavy, but it's not flimsy either. I don't know what the weight is. The package didn't have it on there. So it's not quite copy paper. It's thicker than that, but anyway, I went ahead and I cut it down because it wasn't exactly 12 inches. So I cut a little off this edge, but as you can see, that dotted line is still there. But that's okay. I'm just going to leave it there because I figure it would give it some more character. So I'm actually going a little different from what my little chart says. I'm actually going to do 3 7/8 on the A sides and 5 1/4 on the B sides. So I'll hurry and do that. Okay, so now we have it scored. I do have a little punch that will clip off the inner corners right here, so when you fold it you don't have that extra bulk. However, I've noticed that I'd say 9 out of 10 times I have to get the scissors out anyway because it doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite get in there deep enough. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we have to trim it off. Since I had to cut down the paper a little bit anyway, we'll see. It might work. Okay. At this point, you can also go ahead and round the corners if you'd like to. It's not necessary, but personal preference. Sometimes I do, sometimes I just leave them at the right angle, so, or pointy, I guess I should say. It's still a right angle. Alright, now I'm going to fold these over, all 4 corners. Make sure everything looks good. Hopefully we won't have to get the scissors out. Maybe this will work just right. I could always use this too, but we'll have plenty of chance to do that later. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, when you close it up, I just want to trim this little bit off so we don't have a point. Snip that off. And since this paper is kind of boring, I thought might as well go ahead and put some stamping on it. I don't want to go too crazy, but I just want to give it a little personality. So I think I'll start off with the stencil with some roses. And I have a couple of like pinkish tones, and I'm not sure how well they're going to show up on this paper because it looks like it might be a very similar color. So let's check it out. It looks like it's hardly showing up, so I might have to use a different, let's see, yeah, it's barely even showing up, so I'm going to use a different color. So this one, not that it really matters, but it's Tattered Rose. So I'm going to use Victorian Velvet. Let's see how that one does. That looks better. I can see it at least. I don't want to go too crazy with the stencils. Maybe. Okay. All right, now I have like a script stamp. I'm going to go ahead and put on, I think I'll do it with gray. So it's pumice stone. And I don't have it on a block or anything because I don't want to put the whole thing down. I just want to put parts of it down. So that's why I'm not using a block on the back of it. I'm going to turn it too because I don't want there to be a right side or wrong side to the pattern I'm putting on. Okay, maybe a little more. Okay, and then with either, let's see, black or brown, I want to do like the post office little swishy things. And I think I'll use a brown for that and put a couple of those on. Does anybody else do that? They use both sides when it's something that you don't have to have perfect and see through it. I have way more stamps than I have the blocks. Okay. I think that looks good. Now I want to go around the edges and kind of ink them up, and I'm going to use a darker one for that. I'm using walnut stain. I think I'll speed up this part. Just going to get in these inner corners lightly, not too much. Okay, so we got everything inked. We have our pattern stamped on. So what I'm wanting to do now is make some pages to put inside of this. So it could be a little notebook to put inside of a journal, kind of like a separate collection of notes for maybe a certain event or something like an anniversary party or a baby shower or a weekend trip somewhere that you could put all your thoughts and everything just in this little envelope for that specific moment in time. But yeah, you can still put it inside your journal and keep with everything else. So what I want to do is I want to fan out the pages. So I grabbed some avocado dyed paper. And this one, this top one, I actually, when the paper was drying, I just put a stencil on top of it. You know, just like that while it was drying. And it made a cool design. So, too bad the number is backwards, but oh well. So, what I want to do to get these, I'm just going to fan them out. I'm going to jog them all together, make sure they're all lined up, and then I'm just going to, of course it's not working because I'm filming. I'm just going to fan them out so they just have a little bit of space between them. And then hold it tightly and bend it over. And try to make sure that they're all kind of the same distance apart. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but just try to line it up as best you can. So we can have like a little cascading booklet. Okay, so it looks good. It looks like they're all lined up pretty well. So we have different options at this point. So we want to put, or at least the way I'm doing it, I want to secure them to this side of the envelope. Use this as like the spine. Just so when it's opened up, it'll show the cascading pages instead of it being the other way and you open it up and just see paper. So I thought that would be a better way to kind of show it off a little bit. So we could sew it in with a sewing machine, or we could do a pamphlet stitch, but I think I'm just going to staple these in. So let me just grab the stapler and I'll be right back. Sorry, I could not do that on camera. I was like wrestling with this huge envelope and trying to show it to the camera and it was not working. So I'll just show you what I did. So you can get these staplers anywhere, but it makes it so you can staple in like this, where if it was a regular stapler, you wouldn't be able to go sideways. See? So anyway, I've just put 2 staples in there, and after doing this I realized I should have put the staples going the other way instead of out like this, but that's okay. If you do this along with me, just put the staples in the opposite direction. Okay, so we have our pages in there. Now I'm thinking I want to put maybe an envelope or a tuck spot or something in the back. So we have extra places maybe to put photographs or tickets or receipts or whatever you want. So let me grab some paper. I think gray will be okay, or black. So I just want to do maybe a pocket like this. Maybe just cut it off here. I always use my little cutting board thing, but because I do not cut straight with just scissors, so hopefully this doesn't turn out too bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down just on the 2 sides. I'm just using Elmer's glue. If I was using something that I was tacking down actual photographs or something like that, I would use something that was archival quality glue, but where this is just paper and we're just using it to write on, I'm not too worried about it. And this is, it sticks to everything, so, and it's cheap. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and place that down. I'm leaving a little bit of a margin between the side and the bottom. Okay, so let's see how this is going to look. We should put something here. Maybe some, I mean, I dug out a couple of things so I wouldn't have to go looking for things. So this washi tape is kind of cute. So maybe we can just put a little bit of that on this pocket. And yeah, see, this washi tape isn't very sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on there. Not a lot, just a little to, just as backup, I guess. Just in case. Okay. So that's that. Now, we have a pocket, we have our pages. I might need to trim a little off there. Okay, that's good. So far it's looking pretty cute. I think I will need to cut off some of that. It's not folding over very well. We'll do this on high speed. Okay. So that should work better. Yeah, that's just like I was saying before, the little notch cutter outer, that's not even a word, but you know what I mean. It doesn't, sometimes you have to go in with the scissors anyway, so I kind of wonder if it's even worth it. It seems like it just takes longer to use it because you have to do it twice. Okay, so there's our envelope. Now I want a little bit more, maybe some extra tuck spot or something like that. And I made one previously right before I did this video just to make sure I had all my measurements down. And I used an envelope. I actually don't want to use that one. It's cute on both sides, so I don't want to tape it down. Let's see. Okay, so this is just a envelope. I think I got it on Amazon, and it doesn't have the sticky stuff, which I like that because you don't ever have to worry about it getting stuck down on accident, or you know, putting washi tape over it. But it has a little slit so you can tuck the end in too if you wanted to use that. So what I want to do is this bottom part, it'll be covered up, so I don't know if that's going to work, actually. Well, it might be poking out a little bit here, which I didn't want to do, but I can scoot it over. Yeah, we'll just put it down here, and then when you open it up all the way, you'll have this extra little envelope. Not putting a ton of glue on there, but whew. I was worried I went off the end and got on the table. Okay, so that'll be fine. So when you first open the envelope, you're not even going to see that, which is what I was going for. So alright, so we're about done. I mean, you could put something here, but what I'm thinking is I want to leave extra room in here for the end user, or not the end user, the recipient, whoever's going to be using this. I want to leave extra room for them to put extra, you know, their things in here. And if I fill it up with a bunch of pockets and stuff, I'm going to bulk it up too much. So, I mean, we could put extra like stickers and things like that, but as far as putting more tuck spots or flip outs or anything, I think, at least, you know, my thought is we'll just kind of leave it as it is so we don't bulk it up too much. For the love. Okay, I'm just going to put a little bit more of this just for a little extra interest. Because no matter how much more the user adds to this book, it'll be able to kind of stretch because it's not glued together like a normal envelope is. So they can put more stuff in here. They can click pictures or notes or whatever in here, and there's room that it will be able to kind of grow with whatever they put in. I mean, as long as it's not a ridiculous amount. So anyway, this is a little plain inside. I mean, maybe I should have done some stamping in there, but okay. So now we need to do a closure. Let me get some circles. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm not sure if I want to go with black or gray for the closure. Let's see what looks better. I don't know, I guess they're both fine. That one kind of pops, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to use this color. And I'm going to cut out 2 circles. I'm not going to fold it over and do 2 at a time because I don't want to glue one side down all the way. Or actually at all, because I just want it held on with a brad so that we can put twine. Oh, that was cool. Put twine to wrap it around. And if I glue it down, of course we won't be able to get the twine tucked underneath. Alright, I think I'm going to ink these up a little bit. I always get, my fingers always get so inky when I work on my projects. So actually at the end I want to show you a couple of different examples that I did, and one that has some really thin paper so you can kind of see what that looked like. And also, I mean, of course you can do different size envelopes. I was just doing this one. It's big, so it would have to go in a big journal if it was used in a journal. But of course you can make smaller ones that would fit in, you know, smaller journals. So I kind of want to do a big one so it was easier to see everything. So okay, now we just got to make sure we have center. I'm actually going to do this. Try to get it in the middle, as close to the middle as you can. I never can get it right in the middle. It's always a little off. Okay, so the reason I did 2 is just for reinforcement. Because it's going to go here on the point. I just want extra, you know, extra security, I guess, for... Oh, I don't want to do it that way. Let's see. I'll be able to do it here. I just don't want the paper to rip, and I thought if I put one on both sides, it would work out better. Give it some more strength. Okay. I'll do this side. So let's see. This might be tricky because I need to line them up, and I have to make sure that that hole goes through the envelope and both circles. So I probably should have done the hole like this the first time, so they would all line up. Okay. Now I don't want to take it out because I'll lose my spot. Oh well. Okay, so now I need a brad. I'm just going to use a little guy. Okay, just put that through there. Let's see, it's not centered, but it's okay. I'll just open up those little feet. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a sticker or something over that if it bothers you to have the little feet showing. I don't have one right close to me, so I won't, but usually that would be something I would do. Okay, so let's take a look so far here. Inner flaps. Okay, now we just need to get some twine. I'm going to use this baker's twine. And I used it on the other one I did too, but I think this would look better on this one than like that jute twine. I just like the black and white. Hopefully I gave myself enough. Okay. So just get this underneath the circle. Yeah, if we can. Just going to tie it. Hopefully I'm not ruining the end of that flap. Okay, I think we're good. And then we can trim off that little extra. Snip that off. Okay, so we'll fold it up again. And then this can just wrap around. And then you can just tuck it behind that circle there, like that. Okay, so of course, if you were giving this to someone, you would want to put, you know, a little something in the envelope. Maybe put something in this tuck spot in the back. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big. You can use some Firma, or just put something like that. Maybe ink around the edges. A little bit. It's not a whole lot, but okay, like that. And put some tickets or something in this little envelope. Let's see what I have. Maybe something like this. Oh, I grabbed two of them. You can put something like that in there. You know, just to add some, you know, just so you know, hey, you can put things in here, or hey, you want to write on that? I don't know. Anyway, basically, I mean, for this one anyway, so they know it's a little pocket. If you just leave it like this, they might just think it's a decoration, right? So, anyway. And I tried to figure out a way to put something here, but I just, like I was mentioning before, I thought it was going to be too bulky. Like, I'll just give you an example. Okay, here's like a little cascading booklet, right? I was thinking, oh, maybe you could put another one there, and then you have one opening from this way and one opening this way, which you could. I mean, really, you could. It depends on what it's going to be used for. How much space are they going to need to write? How, you know, how many what other memorabilia do they want to put in here? How thick is it going to be, you know? And I thought you could also put, you know, this was kind of a fail, but I'll just tell you, maybe it'll save you some time. Another envelope. This one's glued shut, of course. It's one that I made. I didn't buy it like that. But before you fold it up, you could add another envelope here. Or I guess you could even washi tape it if it's already bound together or stuck together. And then you could have an extra envelope there. But like I said, for me anyway, I wanted to keep it thinner so the recipient has more space to fill it up themselves. So anyway, let me show you, since this one's done, I'll show you. Now on this one, this is the one I made first. I tied a little key on the end of it just to make it more cute. And this was double-sided scrapbook paper that I bought. Unfortunately, the pattern is the same on both sides, which, I mean, sometimes it's great. Other times it's like, come on, I wanted to do something different. But anyway, this is how this one looks. It's real similar to the one we just did. I inked up the little black envelope on this one, which I should do with the other one too. I put little tabs. They kind of look like Oreo cookies. Anyway, I put a couple little tabs in here. You know, has another little pocket, just like the one we made. So this is just kind of another color, another version of the same thing we just made together. I didn't cascade the pages in this one. They're all the same size, so that's one difference. I think I like the cascading ones, though, like we just did. I think I like that better. And then here is the one when I got the idea to make this video. And this is the one I was going to do, right? So this is really thin paper. It's like copy paper. And I thought, oh no, that won't work. It has to be sturdier than that. You know, it'll just end up getting ruined. But, you know, I got thinking, if it was me, if it was in my journal, I think I could deal with that. I think I'd be fine with it being that thin, because I know I'm careful and I'm not going to rip it, you know. But, I mean, I guess just to be on the safe side, a thicker paper would be better. But I really like that paper. It's pretty. All the lace. Anyway, thank you for staying till the end, and I hope you got some ideas, and hopefully you want to go and create something fun. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you have any comments, please leave them. I would love to read your comments. So anyway, thanks. I will talk to you later. See you in my next video.